I spent the last year and a half helping businesses begin to use AI. But most importantly, I spent the last year and a half helping these businesses set themselves up for a future of growth as this new technology continues to evolve. And as Mark Cuban recently said, artificial intelligence, deep learning, machine learning. Whatever you're doing, if you don't understand it, learn it, because otherwise you're going to be a dinosaur within 3 years. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be a dinosaur, at least not in 3 years. So that's why in this video, I'm going to give you the exact steps you should be taking as a business owner to ensure that you don't get left behind as this new technology evolves. My name is Garrett Jones. I run an AI automation agency, where like I said, I help businesses begin to use AI. Just with my client, 3 Bros Cookies, I helped automate over 70% of their customer service questions, and I'm helping them save 4 hours every single week from a simple social media automation. Now, if you want to shortcut this entire new learning curve, feel free to book a free consultation with me, and I'll literally sit down and look at your business with you and give you some actionable steps that you can take to leverage AI inside of your own business. Now, to get into the actual guide, the first thing that I would recommend starting with is actually learning the basics of business. So as a business owner, you should probably know most of these already. Maybe just a quick refresher, but going over some of the key concepts like marketing, customer service, sales, and sales funnels. Really anything that you're looking to automate, you need to actually understand the key parts at play that you should be doing, no matter if you're automating it or if you're not automating it, because it's extremely hard to automate something if you don't actually understand what's happening in the first place. So understanding like your buyer persona, maybe doing a SWOT analysis of your marketing process as it is right now, can understand the weak points that you have and the actual key areas that you're looking to automate. So also understanding the different ways of acquiring new customers or clients, things like paid ads, cold outreach, warm outreach, and then posting content. And then next, if you're automating customer service, understanding things like how important response times are, making sure that these key interactions or the crucial touch points with your customers are as positive as possible. And if they're not, then you have kind of a backup or a fallback of how you can recover and make up for these failures that will eventually occur in the process. And if you're wanting to automate things like client acquisition or finding customers, understanding the entire pathway that the customer goes through in your funnel, from lead generation to segmentation to nurturing, and then all the way to the conversion. You need to understand how it looks to the customer and the exact processes that they go through. They start on social media, they go to your website, and then convert from there, or they get an email sequence. However it may look for your funnel, you need to ensure that this process is covered completely, and that there's no gaps that your customers are kind of falling through or going out of your funnel. This should be as clear as possible before you even start to automate this process. Then here I have the quote again, but you're obviously here because you want to learn AI, so I'll kind of skip over why you should learn it. But I think it's important to start with the basics, even just learning how AI works in general, just to help you, solve problems as you go. You're bound to have something pop up that's not working, and being able to efficiently communicate what's not working will just help you solve the problem that much faster. So really quick, I know this can be a lot, so if you're feeling overwhelmed or you just want to shortcut this entire process, you're more than welcome to book a consultation with me in the link in the description. I'll help you, skip all of these steps and give you the exact systems that you could be using to really benefit your business and help it grow in the future. So I'll talk a little bit about it. I won't bore you too much with the actual computer science terminology behind it. There's another video I linked here that actually goes more in depth into how these large language models and AI works in general. But what you need to know is that there's, you see all these nodes and vectors between all these things, but the whole idea behind this is that the more information you can put into these models, the better of an output you're going to get. So this is kind of what goes into prompt engineering and formatting your prompts accordingly so that you get the most out of these models. So I've again linked another video here that goes more in depth and gives you some examples of how you can format your prompts to really get the most out of them. You can give it a terrible prompt and you're going to get a terrible response back, but you can give it a great prompt and you're going to get a great response back. So just learning how to tweak your prompts. You're not going to get it perfect on the first try, but kind of change it and edit it as you go. Make sure you're including different pieces of information so you really get the best out of it. And then also using things like uploading information or using the message history. So if you go into ChatGPT and you start typing, it kind of comes up with this almost text thread basically of these previous messages and responses that are given back from the AI. So these are both that and uploading information can be really crucial in getting their best responses back. Just as the AI has more information to go off of to give you a better response back. And then next, I'd recommend briefly learning the different models that they have out right now. So there's text generation, which is your pretty typical ChatGPT or Gemini, and then there's image generation, which ChatGPT now has built in. I would just recommend playing around with all these different models, kind of what you need to prompt it with, some of the the piece of information that you need to put in to best get the response that you're looking for, whether that's text, image, you're doing a voice generation, or you're doing video generation. And then after you learn these 4 key models, then I would look into automating, because automation is essentially just connecting different software and using these models kind of in that connection to automate certain tasks. So the automation is kind of based off of these 4 key models and then just software in general that you're using. So as long as you have kind of a basic understanding of the different models, and then obviously the software that you're using, the processes that are happening in your business, then I would look at actually automating these different processes. So the third step after learning kind of the basics behind AI, I would recommend taking a look at the software. You don't have to become an expert in making chatbots or automations, but I would just have kind of a broad understanding of what these software can do. You don't have to get super technical, but there's so many use cases for even just chatbots, between obviously customer service, but not only that, but lead capture, education, appointment booking. You can recommend products. There's really hundreds of things you can do inside of just chatbots. Just having like an idea of what these software can do will really help you later on in the later steps. So some of the software that I would recommend for chatbot building is Voiceful and BotPress. Like I said, you don't have to become an expert. You just kind of go in and try out these platforms. And then for automation, you can get pretty creative. I'll get more into this later, but I would recommend software like Zapier and Make.com, which I've also linked here. You can kind of test pretty common use cases, just kind of build it out yourself. Start pretty simple and then kind of go up from there. You could do task management, like looking at your emails and then creating tasks off of that. There's really a lot of pretty simple automations that you can make and then kind of scale up from there. And then as far as voice, AI voice, you can do things like outbound, like cold outbound, so cold calling, or inbound, so handling things like customer service over the phone, as well as content creation. You can clone your voice so you don't have to sit there and talk for hours on end for the same piece of content. You can just clone it and then have the AI just say whatever is being said in your voice. I'd recommend a platform called 11 Labs for this. And then for video, there's really 2 main use cases. I have 4 listed here, but So making text to video, so basically a ChatGPT, if I want this video to be generated, so you have a platform here, I don't know how to pronounce that, but I have a platform there that is text to video based, so you can use that for things like content creation. If you're making onboarding videos and you don't have a ton of editing experience, this can be pretty useful, onboarding or training. And then I would recommend another platform if you're going to be repurposing content called Opus.pro. It essentially takes a long form video and then breaks it up. It uses AI to find those kind of key topics and breaks it up into these like shorts, basically, so Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, off of your long form content. So you really just need to film a long form video, and then it will go ahead and break up that video into a lot of different, several different reels that you can post afterwards. So it really saves a lot of time as far as making content goes. And then after you kind of have a basic feel for these different software, I would recommend going into actually looking at your business and trying to identify different use cases for AI. So now that you have kind of the whole background behind how AI is actually used, and you've tried some pretty simple automations, you can get kind of creative when you're looking at your business and say, hey, like this task takes a lot of time. Is there a way that I can automate it completely or at least partially, and save myself and my team some time there? And then you can also look at some ideas that you've had in the future, or not the future, but ideas that you've had for yourself to do in the future. Maybe you wanted to start a blog, maybe you wanted to post more on social media, or be more consistent with like a newsletter per se. You can go and create different automations to actually help you implement these things. So instead of a blog adding an extra 4 hours of work to your week, you can go and make an automation one time, and then you spend 5 minutes drafting a blog. And then I would also look at different use cases in your industry. So you might notice that one of your competitors has recently automated something with AI, or is using AI to do something. You can then kind of base that and adjust it to your own business. And then I would recommend that you actually track everything you're doing. I know you probably hear this a lot and it just seems pretty tedious, but this actually can be really beneficial. When something might not work, instead of starting from scratch, you have something to go off of that you can just change accordingly and pivot from there to go into something else. And then finally, the last step is just continuing to learn and build. You don't have to spend hours every week researching the new AI platforms or new software, but just having a general idea of kind of what's happening in the industry, even just broadly, will help you a lot, staying up to date and just seeing what's possible and seeing if you can make any changes to your current systems, or just new automations that you can put in your own business. And then I would recommend to actually approach AI in sort of this viewpoint of systems, instead of thinking of just a chatbot for my website. Instead, like, how can a chatbot increase my sales, or increase the conversion rate in my website, things like that. Thinking broadly and like the kind of long-term effects, instead of just a fad of how this one AI tool will change my life. And then I would just recommend getting creative. A lot easier said than done, but it'll just come with time. If you just have kind of an idea of how you can kind of set these different systems in place and automate different individual tasks and kind of chain together these systems that will really benefit your business. You can really start to get creative, and you'll come across a problem and you can really tell the actual use cases of these different software that you can begin to really take advantage of. If you like more personalized recommendations, again, feel free to book a free consultation. There's a link down in the description below, or I'll personally take a look at your business, see what sort of processes you have in place, and then recommend any AI-powered systems that you can put in place to really save yourself some time and some money. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully it gives you some sort of outline to go off of as far as how to actually learn this new technology and make sure that your business is going to fall behind, and how to set yourself up for really never before seen growth as this new technology continues to evolve and advance. That's all I have for you today. Best of luck and have a good one.